My fingers gripped the microphone like it was the last thread holding my world together. But when I spoke, my voice sliced through the air like a knife, calm, deliberate, unstoppable. The room fell into a hush so thick you could hear hearts pounding. Eyes locked on me, aunts, uncles, cousins who'd flown in from across the states, all dressed in their finest for what was supposed to be the prelude to bliss. The grand wedding at the historic estate tomorrow. I locked eyes with Alex across the polished oak table. His easy grin cracked, his whiskey glass hovering forgotten. There won't be a wedding. The words hung there, detonating the silence. Silverware crashed against china. A sharp inhale rippled through the crowd. Alex's mother, Victoria, sat rigid, her manicured nails digging into her napkin, her Botox-smooth face twisting into disbelief. Emily. What the hell? Alex's chair scraped back as he half rose, his voice fraying at the edges. I didn't flinch. I'm ending what should have ended the moment you let them turn my pain into a punchline. Tears burned hot trails down my cheeks now. The dam I'd built over the past half hour finally crumbling. You just sat there for 30 minutes while they ridiculed the woman who gave me life, who's gone forever. His father, Charles, leaned back in his seat, that smug curl still on his lips. The same one he'd worn during his entire toast, the one Alex had echoed with his own chuckles. And you laughed with them. It came out soft. But in that vacuum of sound, it echoed like thunder. My dad was on his feet now, his weathered face a storm of quiet fury and quiet pride. My brother Michael stood beside him, veins bulging in his neck, fists balled like he was ready to shatter the crystal centerpieces. They'd heard it all, the barbs, the jabs at Mom's memory, the woman who'd fought cancer with grace and left us too soon. Alex's face drained of color, shifting from bewilderment to raw panic. Babe, come on. Let's talk. No. I slid the engagement ring off my finger, the solitaire catching the chandelier light in a final, mocking sparkle. I'm done talking. Done pretending your family's cruelty is just tradition. Chaos erupted, voices overlapping, chairs toppling. Someone called my name, pleading. But I was already turning, striding toward the exit. Mom's old locket pressing warm against my skin, the one they demanded I ditch because it clashed with the vibe. 24 hours ago, I'd been floating in bridal haze, fittings and flowers blurring into excitement. Now, I saw the truth Mom always whispered. Betrayal doesn't shout, it whispers until you can't ignore it anymore. And oh, how it whispered in me now. But to understand the shatter, you have to trace the cracks back to where they started. It all began 3 years ago, in the quiet aisles of Willow Creek Library, where I worked as a curator, surrounded by stories that helped me escape my own. Mom had been gone for a year then, taken by ovarian cancer that came swift and merciless. I still volunteered there on weekends, sorting donations, losing myself in the scent of old pages that reminded me of her bedtime readings. That rainy afternoon, I was in the back stacks, tears blurring a stack of poetry books she donated before the end, Emily Dickinson. Her favorite. Rough day. The voice was soft. Not prying. Just present. I looked up to find kind hazel eyes and a tentative smile. Not the awkward sympathy I'd grown accustomed to, but something real. Shared. Alex handed me a crumpled napkin from his pocket. No fuss. Then leaned against the shelves. Lost my aunt to the same beast last year, he said quietly. The waves, they hit without warning, especially in places tied to them. We talked for hours that day about the hollow ache of absence, how a random song on the radio could gut you, how healing wasn't linear but a messy tangle. Alex got it in a way my friends couldn't. He didn't push platitudes like time heals or she'd want you happy. He just listened, shared his own scars, Our connection grew roots slowly, deeply. Alex would surprise me with herbal tea on her death anniversary. Watch grainy home videos of Mom teaching me to bake. Hold me when the grief ambushed me at night. His family folded me in like a missing piece. Victoria with her designer hugs, declaring I was the light Alex needed. Charles with his booming laughs, teasing that I'd turned their son from a finance shark into a softie. Weekend barbecues at their upscale suburban home in Connecticut made me feel anchored again. Part of a whole. The proposal hit 18 months in. Alex drove us to Oakwood Cemetery on a crisp fall day, leaves swirling like confetti as we approached Mom's simple headstone. Wanted her blessing first, he murmured, kneeling in the grass. Mrs. Hayes, I vow to cherish your girl like you did. Then, turning to me, ring box open, your mom would beam seeing you this loved. Marry me? I collapsed into yes, sobs mixing with joy, convinced Mom had nudged fate from afar. The first shadow crept in at the engagement bash. Victoria cornered me by the dessert table, wine loosening her tongue. So thrilled Alex scooped you up, she slurred, clutching my wrist. You've endured hell, now you can swap all that sorrow for our clan. Swap. The word lodged like a thorn. But I swallowed it. She meant no harm. I rationalized. Grief wasn't something you traded, you wove it into your fabric. But maybe she just didn't see that. Planning kicked off in overdrive. Victoria dove in like a general, binders bulging with fenders. You deserve a mom's touch here, she insisted, steamrolling my hesitations. Planning without Mom felt like navigating a minefield. Her help seemed a godsend. Until it wasn't. Our first clash, venue. Alex and I envisioned the botanical gardens in the city. Mom and I picnicked there every spring. Victoria's laugh tinkled like breaking glass. Darling, think of the pollen. The unpredictable weather. No. The yacht club in Greenwich, elegant. Controlled. I've hosted galas there, it's foolproof. Alex squeezed my knee under the table. Mom's the expert. And just like that, my vision evaporated. Pattern set, my inputs? Charming but naive. Too sentimental for Thompson standards. Flowers next, war zone. I'd love wildflowers in the arrangements. Mom grew them in our backyard. Symbols of resilience. Victoria's brow furrowed. Wildflowers? So, rustic. We need orchids. Lilies, timeless. Photogenic. But they meant everything to her. Sweetie, her voice sharpened like a blade in velvet. Weddings are rebirths, not remembrances. Let's not drag shadows into the light. Alex. Buried in emails, yeah. Let's go vibrant. As if Mom's blooms were wilted burdens. The tribute corner fight gutted me deeper. I'd pinned ideas, a subtle nook with framed photos of lost loved ones. A card reading, watching from above. Victoria recoiled. A morning station at my boy's celebration? Heavens. No, what message does that send? It's honor. Not grief. Charles chimed in. Scotch in hand, we're building forward. Not looking back. Save the tears for therapy. Alex's compromise, maybe a tiny mention in the program? Hidden. Diminished like Mom herself. That evening, alone in the steam of the shower. Sobs racked me silent. They weren't monsters. I told myself, just different. Affluent families had polished ways. No room for raw edges. But fingering Mom's locket, doubt-seated, was this erasure? Not evolution? I thought Alex was my harbor, empathetic. Steadfast. The guy who'd sat through my breakdowns without judgment. But as D-Day loomed, he morphed. At family dinners, he'd override me. We're considering a beach honeymoon, actually. The Alps. Like Mom and Dad's, he'd cut in, shooting me a later glance. Confrontations later, why morph around them? Wedding jitters. You're overthinking. Jitters, his cure-all for my unease. When Victoria axed Mom's apple pie recipe from the menu, too homespun for our palate, jitters. When Charles quipped my thrifted earrings weren't Thompson caliber, jitters. Then the bombshell, merging finances. Mom's modest life insurance listed. What's the plan for that? Alex asked. Too slick. Maybe a fund for our kids. Mom would have loved nurturing their dreams. His jaw ticked. No need. My folks have trusts lined up. But it's her legacy. Legacy? Or emotional baggage. Their money's clean, no ghosts attached. Ghosts. As if Mom's final gift haunted him. In that instant, clarity pierced. He saw my sorrow as a flaw to fix, not a part to cherish. You don't get it, I breathed. Guess not, he dismissed. Patronizing peck on my head. But I was getting him crystal. A week out. The facade crumbled faster. Venom seeping through every seam. Final tasting at the yacht club, Charles. Buzzed on bourbon. Regaled guests. Big win, our bride's solo parent status. He winked at me. Cuts the in-law drama in half, smart pick. Son. Laughter boomed. Alex snickered. Murmuring, Dad, but grinning. Solo parent? Dad was alive. Thriving in his auto shop. But relegated to the extended table like an afterthought. I fled to the powder room. Hyperventilating. Orphaned for convenience, my loss. Their joke. That night, Alex's phone buzzed incessantly, texts from his brother Ethan. Curiosity one, I peeked. Ethan, she still pushing that dead mom tribute? Alex, Mom's killing it. Won't happen. Ethan, dodged a lifetime of sob stories. Bro. Alex, as long as no vow waterworks, embarrassing as hell last practice. I'd wept at the dry run. Mom's void overwhelming. He'd consoled me then, or so I thought. Now, humiliation. Next day, I sought Dad's counsel in his cozy garage apartment. I think I'm trapped, I confessed. He cupped my face. Your mom wanted joy for you. Not endurance. What if fear's chaining me? Tears mirrored in his eyes. She'd say, love honors all of you. Past included. Not this whitewashing. I left with Mom's faded photo riding shotgun. Her eyes urging escape. Rehearsal dinner dawned heavy. Victoria's got it wired, Alex preened. Nodding his tie. Just smile. My toast when? He winced. Mom nixed it, too maudlin. All that heaven-watching stuff. It's my truth. Babe. Keep it light? One night without the clouds. As if Mom tainted joy. The venue gleamed, Thompson Shrine, portraits of Alex's triumphs. Their anniversaries. Mine? Absent. Your files glitched, Victoria lied smoothly. Overheard, Alex's aunt-to-cousin. Thank God she ditched her mom's rag dress. Victoria said it screamed garage sale. My heirloom gown. Mocked in whispers. Pre-guests. Alex cornered me, stunning. But the locket? Clashes with the ensemble. For Mom, I touched it. Resolve hardening. It's staying. Dinner commenced with toasts. Charles first, welcoming Emily to the Thompson fold, our upgrade from humble roots. Humble, Mom's nursing shifts. Dad's honest labor, belittled. Victoria dreamed of a match from our sphere. But Emily adds. Fresh stock for heirs. Stock. Like breeding cattle. Slideshow, Thompson epic. My story erased. Proposal rewritten to their gala. Not Mom's grave. Glitch again. Charles encore, joining us means standards. Best perk? No meddling mother-in-law. Falsetto mockery, my girl's China's finer. Laughter swelled. No baggage, just us dictating holidays. Then personal, those endless tears, Mommy'd love this napkin fold. Mimicking sobs. And that relic necklace, like she'll vanish without it. Alex howled. Bride sans Mom, easy to mold. Victoria's gift therapist card. For your fixation, become the wife Alex merits. Alex whispered, "Let go tomorrow, our day." Not hers. The room waited for my crumble. Instead, I rose. "You've ridiculed my mother's ghost for half an hour." Calm fury. Laughed at wounds that never heal. Faces paled. "You've shown your souls, and I found mine." To Alex, Mom raised me to demand respect. Not crumbs. Ring down. No vows. Pandemonium. Victoria shrieked costs. Shame. Dad flanked me. "My wife would have embraced you." This? Disgrace. Alex's cousin slipped me a note. They broke his last fiancé too, sorry. Outside. "Air crisp, you good?" Dad asked. Locket warm, finally free. And in that freedom, Mom's spirit bloomed revenge, not in rage, but in reclaiming my worth. The price of silence paid in full.